up until the age of 19, my sense of self was shaped by the accumulation of thoughts, beliefs, and memories. A constructed identity that I mistook for who I truly was. Like most people, I lived under the assumption that I was my physical body and mind. I believed that I was the sum of my experiences conditioned by the past and constantly projecting into the future. This identity, rooted in ego, attachment, and separation, became the source of a deep suffering. Over time, this led me into a Great Depression, one that only seemed to intensify with every passing day. I felt trapped in my own mind, drowning in a reality where nothing felt meaningful. And at age 19, I reached the breaking point. The weight of suffering had become unbearable, and in my depression, I made a decision to end my life. As I was affirming this decision internally, the last grasp of life sprung through, and I authentically called out to God for help. Then, my reality itself shattered. In that moment, one beyond time was pulled into an experience that defied everything I had ever known. For an unknown amount of time, I experienced pure unity, unconditional love, and an indescribable state of bliss, a state beyond mind, beyond form, and beyond identity. What I can only describe as a heavenly plane and/or enlightenment. It was as if I had merged with the entire universe, yet at the same time, I was nothing at all. The illusion of separation dissolved completely. There was no me, only existence itself, flowing in perfect harmony. Then, as suddenly as I entered this state, I was snapped back into my body. It felt like only seconds had passed, but everything had changed. I knew with absolute clarity that I was not the body, not my thoughts, and not my mind. I saw that everything around me was one, that separation itself was a great illusion. After this event, this reality shift, I changed drastically, with some people clearly noticing a difference in my action and behaviors, with people pointing out details such as even the way I was speaking was different. I had also intuitively knew I had to start meditating, which was something that was never brought up in my world before. And not only that, I was left with an infinite amount of questions such as, who am I, and what is reality? Questions I'm still asking to this day. This new curiosity drove me into an intense search for truth as I began my journey into a deep dive into philosophy, spirituality, mysticism, and consciousness, seeking to articulate the paradox I now experience. Quickly, I have found that there were numerous ways of articulating the event that happened to me, with great help and guidance from a close friend who had woken up to this truth a year before. For the specific event that happened to me has been described in countless cultures under different names, such as an ego death, spiritual awakening, or a near-death experience. For the next 4 years, I worked to integrate this experience into my daily life. While my perspective has changed forever, I still had layers of ego, karma, and identity that needed to be dissolved. Then after years of deep meditation and energy work, a sudden exponential growth of realization begun. To the point where this state of being I had once experienced in a glimpse was fully integrated and permanent, yet ever expanding. As events that only seem like they can be out of this world began to happen in my everyday, as if every moment was a new awakening. I knew through my studies that you can consider this event be called a Kundalini Awakening, as I was experiencing a lot of the similar events that are described to happen during most people's experience, such as an inner conjunction or a full opening of the heart chakra, which has been described to be a more intense version of MDMA. This awakening can be described as when the body and mind undergo a neurobiological transformation to catch up with the soul's realization. Now, I experience a deep, unshakable state of peace, continuous awareness of the Absolute, and an effortless flow with life itself, as well as an energetic shift of concentration that many describe as samadhi. It was no longer an experience that came and went, as I am in the present moment. As soon as I awakened, the world around me awakened. The Buddha. This is the paradox of awakening. You do not gain anything, but instead, you lose all illusions about who you thought you were. The truth is shockingly simple, so simple that most people are just overlooking it. As enlightenment is not about achieving something mystical or being special. It is about recognizing that you already are what you are seeking. This state of being, this level of perception, is accessible to all beings. The question is, are you aware of it? And will you stay true to your true nature? As this is the embodiment of the truth of oneness itself. And so, this realization can be explained in infinite amount of ways. This is why every culture and every awakened being throughout history has tried to describe it, each using different words, symbols, and stories. But in the end, all descriptions point to the same universal truth. There is no separation. You are not the doer. You are awareness itself, effortlessly flowing through existence. I explain all of this to show that I'm not just repeating what I've read in books or mimicking the words of ancient masters, but what I talk about is a lived-through experience. Now, I want to clear up some confusion and common questions. Firstly, the common question I get, is enlightenment the journey? It's continuous. And to that, I would say it's absolutely correct. As one has this realization, they still continue to grow and learn, as this is the purpose of life, to experience oneself through one's unique lens. This can be explained further with the paradox that everyone is already enlightened, but are you aware of it or not? Furthermore, you can describe this experience as the journey from 1 to 99% of self-discovery is infinitely smaller than the 99 to 100%. Second, there is a confusion in which enlightenment is the end goal, but it's more accurate to describe it as the starting line, as once this state is reached, you start to fully live and experience life. As before, it seems you were asleep, but now you have awakened to reality. There's another confusion in which how one operates in this state and what this experience is like. There's this common confusion in which one thinks that you will no longer be yourself. You will not be able to work, you will not have relationships, nor you will not feel pain. And this is all wrong and a trick of the mind, as this state is a realization of who you really are. So it's more like you are more of yourself, as well as you are better at relationships and better worker, but also you still feel pain and pleasure. But you understand what it truly is, allowing you to respond and not react to it. It's important to understand that in this state you are feeling these sensations and emotions even more deeply and intensely, but one's ability to respond is great, as bliss is any emotion fully felt. Another confusion is that enlightenment is for special people, or it's out of reach. If this is true, why do so many enlightened beings try to teach the path to it? It's not for special people, but it is for the people. It is just a state of realization of who you truly are. This is also why it's unique and different experience for every person. Last confusion I will touch upon in this video is about how to get enlightened, and the misconception of time and effort put in. For the idea of time and effort, this will be individualized to every person, as it is a tricky situation in which, for one, you are already enlightened, you must become aware of it, and two, it is about letting go of all your identities. So depending on how much identities and beliefs you have and continue to create will be the length of your realization. As you must be persistent, determined, but yet not to grasp for it, rather to surrender into it. As it is so simply put, is to know that you know nothing. Enlightenment is not far away. It is not something for the few. It's not even something you achieve. It is the realization of what you have already been. It is so simple that most are missing it. For the truth is, you are already enlightened. The only thing left is to remember. Living and consciousness are not acts of doing, but states of being. A surrender into your true nature, being one with the infinite intelligence of the universe. Do you ever feel lost, confused about who you are, why you're here, and what your true purpose is? Do you feel disconnected, lacking the purpose, direction, or energy to do what you truly want in life? I know that feeling well because I lived it, but through that confusion, I discovered something powerful. The deeper meaning you're searching for is already within you. The problem is, most people are never taught how to access it. That's why I'm dedicating my life to help others reconnect with their true self, to understand what life is really about, break free from limitations, and master their energy. My name is Ellislhernandez, and my journey began with a powerful awakening after a long period of depression and disconnection. And since then, I spent years diving deep into spirituality, science, philosophy, and energetic mastery. Through practices like meditation, yoga, qigong, holistic health, and a lot more, I've learned how to activate my energy, live in effortless flow, and follow my true passion. Now, I help others do the same. I work with people who are ready to break through, align their soul's purpose, and step into the most vibrant, awakened version of themselves. If that's you, I offer personalized one-on-one coaching to guide and accelerate your transformation. I also offer online courses designed to unlock your potential. And I have a YouTube channel filled with powerful insights to guide your journey. You don't have to stay stuck, and you don't have to keep searching. The path is already unfolding. Are you ready to step into the life you are meant to live and master your own energy? Click below to begin the journey today. That's it for today's video. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, leave comments, questions, or topics that you would want me to talk about. Peace.